Hi, how y'all doing out there? My name is Faith Roby. I don't particularly like going by titles, but if you want to call me anything, you can call me prophetess, Faith Roby, missionary evangelist, whatever. I'm just happy to be alive and to be a child of God. I want to take my time to encourage you with the word of the day. Word of the day. Forgive me. Um, it's coming from He will deliver you. A lot of times we go through so many things and we be suffering from so many things for so long that we don't understand that God will deliver us. I simply want to tell you that if you read in the Bible story of Daniel, Daniel went through many trials. He was a captive of Judah, but God strategically put him in places so God's will could be done. Even Joseph, when he was put in the pit and his brothers were jealous of him, when he was going through those things, he still had to have his faith and trust in God, because in the natural, it looked like that God had forgotten about him, because his own brothers put him in the pit, sold him into slavery. He went into slavery, and his attitude was so well that his slave, the person who was over him, put him head of his household. And then the man who owned the household, wife, accused him of rape, and he had to run from there. And he ran from there, he was then put in prison. When he was put in prison, there were two people with him. He interpreted the baker's and the butler's dreams. One of them died, and the other one didn't. And he told the butler to remember him, and he forgot about him, but he remembered him at the right time. And the end of that story is basically that he ended up being a ruler over many things, and his brothers had to humble themselves to get help from him, and at the time they didn't even know that was his brother. You go through so many things in your life. You may need deliverance from health issues. You may need deliverance from strongholds. You may need deliverance from things at your job. Just know that in Romans 8:28 it says, "For all things work together to the good of them that love God, and to those who are called according to His purpose." So if you know you love God, and if you know that you're called according to your purpose, His purpose, it will work out for you. But a lot of times we have faith in the wrong things. We have faith in the flesh. We have faith on things that we see in the physical. We have faith on things that we know that's going to come. But true faith is coming from those things that you cannot see in the physical. It's strictly spiritual. You may not know how you're going to get through it. You may not know how your family member is going to get saved. You may not know how you'll be suffering for this for so long. Lord, I want to be delivered from this, but I'm still struggling with it. I still have those desires. You just keep yourself steadfast in God and fast and consecrate and do those things that God asks you to do, and it will come. It's on His time. We want things right now. We want our situation to move right now. But the God that I serve, He will allow you to get fired from a job. The God that I serve will allow you to get evicted from an apartment. The God that I serve will allow sickness to hit your body and nearly take you out, and then turn those things around when you least suspect it. Because it's not about us, it's about His purpose, His will, what He has for our life. The next time you think about giving up and you think about quitting, remember there is somebody who always has a story that's worse than yours. Yet they have a smile, they have joy in their body, they have joy in their spirit, because the joy that God gives you, no man can take away. Get your joy based in God. Put your trust completely in Him. If I want to give my testimony, I can give my testimony. I was evicted from my apartment. I lost everything. My things were put out in front of my house. I watched people take away my furniture. I watched people take away my kids' clothes. One person even got bold enough to brag and loud and said you should pay your rent, and didn't even know why I was getting put out. They just saw an opportunity to take my stuff. But God allowed the things that got more time from Him to be taken away from me. He allowed those things, my computers, because He is a jealous God. He wants Him to come first. But that same God blessed me with another place to live. The same God opened up doors for me to go to Oral Roberts University online. The same God blessed me with a computer better than the one I had before. The same God bless me with a new flute and new piccolo and new instruments that cost less and that has a better quality. You have to put your trust and faith in God. That day when my stuff is being taken away, I said by the Chaldeans and Babylonians, I laid on the floor and cried. I cried for my children. I cried for my kids. I cried for myself. And then something clicked in me. I remembered the God that I served. I didn't lose my praise. I held on to what God had done for me. I held on to the God I served because the faith in the past would have done whatever. I would have played somebody. I would have started dating a guy just to make my bills come through. The faith in the past would have done all this, but the faith today knows who God she serves. The faith today knows she loves the Lord. The faith today knows that everything can be flowing good today, and something can happen tomorrow. But your faith and trust has to be in God. I am happier today than I have ever been because my happiness is found in God. When friends walk away, be that as it may, and if you feel like that you're the cause of it, ask God to continue to show you yourself. One of the hardest things I had to do was say, Lord, show me me. There's some things in me that I don't like, that shouldn't be. I'm too bossy. I want things my way. And God showed me, and there were some things that I didn't like that were pretty ugly. But God dealt with me because when I start to preach and when I go behind the pulpit and when I want to prophesy, I want people to know that this thing is for real. I want to come before people clean with a testimony. Not a tainted testimony, a testimony to let people know that you can go through some things and you can have the ugliest and then go through the ugliest things that you ever imagined, but God can bring you out and you still can come out on top. It's easier said than done. But when you believe in God and have faith in Him, the easier, hallelujah, that it becomes. I just want you to know that God has not forgotten about you. He's not a man that he's not going to lie. He's not like me. He's not going to lie. If He promised you something, it will come to pass. Continue to seek God. Everything that He said concerning you will come to pass. Just stay in the will of God. Get people out your ear. He will deliver you from anything and everything. Our God is a deliverer. He is a healer. He healed my mother from cancer. There is nothing too hard for God. There are a lot of things too hard for the flesh, but there is nothing too hard for God. Let your desire be His heart's desire. Let your heart desire be to follow the will of God. And when your heart desire is to put yourself in the will of God, everything concerning you, no good thing will be held from you. He forgave the Israelites when they were disobedient. They were disobedient so many times, but yet He delivered them through so many things. Just be encouraged. Keep the faith. It's okay to cry sometimes, but the God I serve, weeping may endure for a night, but nights may be many nights in the flesh, in the natural. But that joy is going to come. It's not a cliche. It's real life. It happens. It happens. But He will deliver you. Just don't give up. It's so easy to give up. It's so easy to give in. It's so easy to let your flesh get the best of you. I've been there. I've been back in the church, and then I messed up a couple of times. I don't know how many times I messed up, but I'm so glad that God's mercies are new every morning. His compassions, they fail not. I'm not deserving. I'm not deserving on my best day of forgiveness of some of the things I've done. When God delivers you from something, He wants you to stay delivered. And I tried to go back. But every time I tried to go back, God said, not so. He would take the taste out of my mouth. Every time I tried to go back to where He delivered me from, things would happen. The feeling wasn't there no more. It just didn't feel right. When God finally delivers you from it, stay delivered. Whatever your it is. But it's going to happen. Have faith. I love you with the love of the Lord. Be good. Pray for me as I pray for you.